What's good with it, y'all? What's good with it? Yes, it's been a minute, but y'all do your boy a favor, man. Smash that like button, sub to the channel if you're new. Appreciate you. So, yeah, we back, man. It's been a minute. Uh, Kind of got tired of seeing the stuff out, that's going on in these in the NBA streets, man. Things that's taking place. So, yeah, some videos is coming. Some videos is coming, man. So, we're gonna talk about John Morant in this video specifically. The league got it out for John Morant, man. Alex Silver and them boys, I don't know what it is. Well, I do know what it is. They 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 trying to turn John Morant into the previous era of an Allen Iverson or John Wall, other players that they kind of wanted to deem to get them up out of the way, out of the league. DeMarcus Cousins, some way somehow. And a lot of people gonna say, "Hey, one, what the hell are you talking about? How are you comparing the two? That don't make sense." Y'all bear with me, man. We're gonna stroll down this lane, and I'm gonna make it make sense to y'all. So what I mean by that is the fact that yeah, we just saw John Morant get fined $75,000 for them claiming it was the gun celebration thing and things of that nature, man. In reality, if anybody has seen already, I'm sure across the social media airways, man, he was actually responding to a player on that team that was doing that towards him, but not understanding it's a celebration and a threat. And the NBA is trying to turn it on Adam Silver and the boys. They're trying to turn it into something that is not, man. This young man is having fun playing ball. He learned from his mistakes. He's not brandishing alleged weapons and all that outside of the court and things of that nature. Obviously, everybody's gonna say, "So, well, how we know it's gonna go? How I know that's not what it is when he's been accused or shown of doing that in the past, not once but twice, right?" The thing is, y'all, I mean, it's supposed to be the land of second chances in y'all eyes, right? So if it's the case that every time he does a celebration, they're gonna try and link it to that, how is it that this young man is dealing with this day in and day out and is under a microscope? But again, a person like a Josh Giddey, for example, with his alleged situation that took place and happened, you didn't hear that not being talked about the airwaves whatsoever. It wasn't being blasted across the media. It wasn't something that Adam Silver and them made into a huge deal. They allowed him to continue to play games. He wasn't suspended. He wasn't fined. Nothing happened, and he stayed the course. And here he is still playing now. Other players that look like a John Morant, we see what happens. Anytime any type of situation their name is mentioned in the light of a quote unquote investigation or allegations, what happened? They get suspended and they're on paid leave or they're suspended until the investigation concludes and things of that nature. We didn't see that with him. So now what are we seeing with John Morant? Responding to someone else that's doing a celebration towards him because they knocked out, somebody just hit a 3 pointer and his team scored. That was a celebration tactic. He doing it back because he just scored. So, but it's an issue, right? Well, and again, this is a situation where they try to do one or two things with John Morant. He's too young for them to force him out of the league at this age. So that, they're trying to either get him out of Memphis or get him off the Grizzlies to a bigger market team that's going to force him to kind of walk the straight and narrow if he wants to continue to get paid what he's getting paid or receive those type of contracts and be, those type of things. Or they're just sitting up here diminishing and devaluing his character in a way where it's like this young man is playing basketball and they turn it into something that is not. So how is it going to impact him down the line with other teams or future contracts and things of that nature? And I use the reference of Allen Iverson because if anyone follows basketball, they know anything about it. Back in the day, man, AI was like the modern day. He changed the game from a cultural standpoint of influencing how people dress, slang, hairstyles, tattoos, the accessories, the arm sleeve, things of that nature, man. Where a lot of people looked at it and they said, now you're seeing everyone accessories. You're seeing tattoos everywhere. You're seeing braids everywhere. You're seeing, what I'm saying, the style of fashion, the do rag with the hat, and all that type of stuff. Allen Iverson made it cool because that was his style, so it trended and everyone else started doing it. It was like a modern. You're seeing people of all ilks, of all different colors and things like that, dressing like Allen Iverson, right? So his impact when he did that, the league looked at it and they said they didn't like it because they wanted to quote unquote clean up the image of how people dress. So they went through a phase where they made everyone either wear you had to wear team attire or you had to wear a business suit. Again, if you don't believe me, go back and look it up for time period. You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, fast forward from that, they did all of that, and then once it went from there, we all know AI had his infamous practice. We're talking about practice, bruh. That whole situation, and it kind of went downhill from there. Everywhere he went, from teams where it would be from Philly to Denver to Detroit, Memphis, like it didn't matter. It was kind of over with for him at that point because they already had branded him as a player that's not a team player, someone that doesn't care about other players, that doesn't take the game as serious, and just flat out, and for all intents and purposes, was a selfish player. That's how they branded him. So what happened? It literally forced him kind of up out of the league. Same thing with the John Wall. A lot of people have this misconception John Wall's a bad person, yada yada yada. He can't play still. It was a brandishing of how the league literally drove a narrative surrounding John Wall and literally forced him up out of the league. Circle the same thing with DeMarcus Cousins. We don't like his attitude, poor teammate, yada yada yada. Same thing they branded him. It wasn't forced him up out of the league. Now I use those three names because they're three big names of players that everybody should be extremely familiar with if you follow the game of basketball the way I do, or at least even if I've watched it over the past 10 years, you would know who DeMarcus Cousins is. You'll know who John Wall is. So those players are forced up out of the league with still a lot left in the tank to give. Now with Ja, what they're doing is they've already did the whole, with him brandishing the weapon situation, stuff like that. Then now that they punished him for that, didn't do it now. Anytime he does a celebration, they're trying to link it to that. So what are they doing? It's character assassination is what they're doing at this point, and it's going to start the teeter where it's either going to they're going to get him get him off the Grizzlies to a bigger market or different team to kind of straighten him out, or it's going to be one of those things where they're setting the foundation of getting him out of the league early. Because once they look at it as if Ja's a hell of a player, don't get me wrong. Once that athleticism fades, you know, what is he going to be from there? He's a mediocre 3-point shooter, mid ranger as well. His jump shot's mediocre, right? So he's going to have to work on that a lot more to see further down the line. You're not going to be jumping the same way he is now in his early 20s as he is, 10 plus years from now. That might not be the case. So you got to work on those fundamentals, lock those things down, work on that jump shot, getting that little weird little hitch that he has, getting all those things constructed and fixed, man, to prepare for down the road. That's if he intends to play them. It's up to him, obviously. But I think for the league, they're kind of thinking long term when it comes to the character assassination, all the things they're doing. They're going to try and force them either off the Grizzlies or up out of the league at some point. Trust me when I tell y'all, because they already brandishing him with this whole character of a bad boy, and meaning a bad boy image is something that they don't want. They don't want being the face of the league or any faces of the league or anything like that. They already started. Already started. I can see it clear as day. They picking on this young man from every start of it, man. I would show y'all the video of it, but I don't want to get copyrighted or have them trying to come after me for it. But at the same time, man, somebody gotta talk about it. I'm seeing what's going on, and it's just like, yeah, I can see the play. I can see the play as if, what I'm saying, like I drew it up. It's a sad thing. So I'm hoping John and his team is able to. If I was John, I would go to the players association, have them fight this fine, along with hiring some potential external investigation or whatever the case may be, to kind of watch the league as the league is watching him. You know what I mean? Keep a microscope on them, how they're having a microscope on him. So then that way, because there could be some legal ramifications coming that he could pursue if something was to happen or take place down the course. But at the same time, it's just playing smart. What I'm saying, playing the long game and paying attention to it. You know what I mean? But that's my take. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. How do y'all feel about the situation? How do y'all feel about the NBA is finding a job? They're trying to say he's doing this game, this celebration, whatever, what have you. Um, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Man. For me, I think it's ridiculous, personally. Like I said, man, it's these players are being limited to be able to play with passion and emotion, and then when they're celebrating, you're trying to tell them not to do certain things. When you look across the league, you've seen all type of celebrations that a lot of people don't know what those things may mean. Some of those things you're seeing, when some people do it, the German three, when somebody knocks down a three, you have no idea what that could mean in a street situation or in the streets or whatever the case may be. There's other symbols that people do that you have no clue what that is. You know what I mean? So they're just assuming what he's doing. It is like it's not. It's just a celebration, bro. It's a celebration. They gotta calm down a little bit and try to act like they understand something. Stop trying to make it something into what it's not. But again, I appreciate y'all coming through. Man, y'all make sure again you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you want to support the channel, you see the information right there scrolling at the bottom of the screen. It's in the description as well. Again, I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. And again, we're gonna be back with another one. Videos dropping more consistently. What's coming out, man? Somebody gonna talk about it. So hey, I gotta do it, man. I gotta do it. But again, I appreciate y'all coming through. We'll be back with y'all another one. With that said, we up out of here. Y'all stay safe, man.